How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review, and it is a little bit of cuvée-ness. Cuvée-ness in the form of Jackie Os Brewing's Cuvée number 1. Yes, first things first, credit where credit is due. Josh. Viewer Josh sent me off this beer, sent me off a bunch of Jackie O stuff, and this is the latest one for me to take down. Thank you very much, Josh. Sent me off a basket of awesomeness. If you saw the unboxing, you know what I'm talking about. If not, go watch that shit. And yeah, this is one I've been looking forward to because it's actually a mixture of beers that I really fucking like. I actually said that in a different review because I was kind of read the labels when I did the unboxing and kind of like didn't read anything since, kind of like letting myself kind of be neutral to any influence, and popped one of their barrel aged offerings, and I kind of talked about that one being this one, but I was wrong. Anyway, this is a blend, the cuvee, and a cuvee, not the cuvee. Well, hopefully it is the cuvee. So yeah, let's see what she's got. We can dive into this sucker. As far as what it says on the bottle itself, it says Jackie Os Cellar Cuvée number 1, ale brewed with honey and aged in bourbon barrels. That doesn't fucking suck. On the side here, try to rip through this as fast as I can. The Cellar Cuvée project is inspired by the art of blending. Multiple beers are married together after aging in oak barrels with our cellar, or within our cellar. Cellar Cuvée 1 was the original release in May of 2009. This was before we were bottling, and this blend was draft only. Bourbon barrel aged dark aberration, Would Ya Honey, which I fucking love both those beers, came together creating one-of-a-kind experience for both our staff and customers. It felt fitting to finally release this beer in bottle format to complete the series. Bourbon-soaked honeycomb drizzled with dark chocolate and molasses, paired with candy bacon, Cantonese spare ribs, and carrot cake. Raise a glass and celebrate 10 years in adventure and exploration. So yeah, they're talking about 10-year. It was the original, and it says this was before the bottling, blah, 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 blah. It was the original released in May 2009. I don't think this is that one. I think this is a blending of those two beers. I think this is a 2015 version. I could be wrong. But regardless, those are two beers I fucking love. So yeah, label-wise, it's cool. It's a little cellar. A couple little barrels down there. A little sink. A little stainless steel sink. You know, who doesn't want a little sink in their labels? Sink. Anyway, I know I'm being weird. Pour this in this little like stemless wine glassy kind of beer glassy thing here that I enjoy. I figured, it is a bourbon barrel. Let's pour it all in there. Fuck it. Let's not fuck around right now. Let's do it like we're supposed to. Like we don't give a shit. Get down there. One last drop. Yeah. Not much on the bottom of that motherfucker. I haven't done that in a while. The old check for the yeast cake. I used to do that back in the day all the time. Anyway, pinky finger. Half a pinky finger. Malted malt ball colored. Had gravity defying creaminess. And it's dark. I knew it was going to be dark. I didn't need anything that was going to showcase kind of light through the sucker because, you're not going to see it through it anyway. So, a little fatty little glass here. Give it a little swirl. Oh, I'm spilling. Tasted already, so kind of ruined our review. Let's see if we can get a nose on her. Yeah. The bourbon is rich. It's there in spirit. It's not there in I'm not getting a ton of cherried kind of caramelized cherryness that I talk about. I'm getting straight up bourbon on the nose. I'm definitely getting that honey in there. I'm getting a nice smoky charriness from the wood. Chocolate, definite chocolate. A little bit of vanilla, definite chocolate. Semi-sweet. It's rich, it's robust, it's candied, it's desserty. The honey comes through. That bourbon barreling comes through, but not in a cherried way or a candied way. It comes in a spirit way, but it doesn't smell spirity in the point where it's actually going to be too rough or too harsh. It just smells it smells a lot like a lot of the well done, which is 99.9% of the time, the well done barrel aged beers that Jackie O's does, but it's not an easy task. They pull it off really easily. I don't want to trivialize and be like, yeah, it smells like a lot of their barrel aged beers. It smells very similar to a lot of those, but what they do barrel wise is very fucking fantastic, very, very robust, very unique, because a lot of people don't do it. So I'm not trying to trivialize what they do. It smells fantastic. Let's put it that way. So yeah, marshmallow, vanilla, chocolate, barrel, nice smokiness, nice char. Spirit is there, not necessarily in a fruity way, but actually in a spirit way. But it doesn't actually. It's not too hot. And dare I say you actually smell the beer in there? You get a little bit of roasted malts, a little bit of bittering from those roasted malts. Words. So yeah, she looks good. She smells good. Let's drink it. Cheers, baby. Well, wow. Ton of marshmallow in there. Like, ton. That's what this reminds me of. You know, you're getting the roasted malts in there. They're absolutely beautiful. Nice roasted malts, but not really much bitter in there. What bitter in there was from the roasted malts being counterbalanced from the sweetness from the spirits and barreling and whatnot. So getting the beer, which is very important in there. Nice roasted malts. Beautiful mouthfeel to it. It's not the thickest beer in the history of mankind, but it's exactly where I want my barrel-aged imperial stouts to land. You're getting the smoky charriness from the barrel. You're getting that chocolate, you're getting vanilla, but you're getting this really big pop of marshmallow. And what I end up getting in this, which is really fucking cool, and what immediately popped in my head when I tasted it, is like if you're sitting around a fire and you're actually roasting marshmallows with your family or whatever back in the day when you're a kid. I know when I was a kid, I'd like fuck around and I'd like, you know, not only do you want to roast your marshmallow, you actually like want to light it on fire and get it burnt. But then like you light it on fire and you let it burn, you laugh at it. Haha, I lit something on fire, and then you blow it out. But then sometimes you char it a little bit too much. You know, and it would just be like this kind of burnt crustiness that was just like too bittering. And you were like, ugh. You know, but sometimes you would burn it and you'd rotate it enough and you'd blow it out to where you'd burn it, but you wouldn't burn it too much to where you'd caramelize it just in the right way where you eat the marshmallow and be like, oh my God, this is fucking delicious. You get a little bit of smoke from the fire. You get that kind of wood burning off from that backyard fire. I'm not talking about you motherfuckers with your propane fucking fire pits outside of your fucking, you know, paid for groomed grass. You know what I mean? I'm talking about you're in the woods, you're hanging out, you built the fucking fire yourself, and you charred it to the point where it didn't burn, but it was charred enough to where you got the smokiness, then you got a little bit of smokiness from the actual wood itself, and you get the nice toasted kind of caramel from the marshmallow itself. That's what this reminds me of. It reminds me of a perfectly toasted marshmallow. And that is a beautiful fucking thing. I was also drizzled in bourbon. I didn't drink bourbon when I was a kid. Anyway, so yeah, it's really well done. Carbonation is a little bit south of where I'd like to be, but it's a barrel-aged beer. Taste it for what it's worth. But when you're dealing with big barrel-aged beers, especially blended beers like this, cuvée beers, you know, you can't fucking knock that. The honey is what I think is actually giving me that sweetness of thinking of the marshmallow. Yeah, you don't think of marshmallow and you think of honey, but what I think is I'm getting vanilla, I'm getting chocolate, and I'm getting that honey, and that's what I think is giving me those marshmallow vibes. So, you know, you're getting that really nice kind of desserty quality of it, but you're also getting that smoky kind of burnt, kind of charred barreling from it. You're getting a little bit of spirit in there, nothing too crazy, but enough to let you know it's there. The beer is well represented. You get a nice roasted malt, not overly bitter, and again, that sweetness is probably countering that a little bit. And at the same time, everything's just kind of meshing together and doing really well to tell a story I fucking really like to be told. You know what I mean? Which is that story. That story of roasting that marshmallow is what comes to mind for me. Are you going to get that when you drink this beer? Probably not. I doubt it. Maybe if you watch this and you drink it alongside, maybe I conjure that up. But it brought up a story that I remember, which is the thing you want music, women, and beer to do. You know, you want it to remind you of either put you in a beautiful time or remind you of a beautiful time. And this is reminding me of a absolutely fantastical time. So yeah, let's talk about it. Is it one of, because I said everything, right? I talked about all the flavors. Let's talk about it. Is it one of the better barrel-aged beers I've had as of late? Yeah. We're going to lump it in there. There's a big group going in there right now. I've had quite a few, especially Jackie Os beers. Josh was awesome enough to send me a bunch of Jackie Os stuff. And I love their barrel-aged stuff. One he sent me was a little bit but other than that, they're pretty fantastic. So there's a lot going in that group right now, but they're well-deserved. So yes. Value and availability, $10 to $15 a bottle, I assume, for a fatty, kind of snub-nosy jam. Availability, I don't know if it's brewery only or not. You have to talk to those in the know and just say if you like what will you like this. If you like barrel-aged beer, if you like well-blended beer, if you like aged beer, if you like memories, if you like marshmallows over the fire that are roasted perfectly, and if you just like good. If you like good, you'll like this beer because this beer is, wait for it, it's good. Actually, it's better than good. I'm just trying to be funny. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tapped if you want to check me out anywhere else. Before that, I usually say if you have any questions, comments, all that stuff, leave it down there. And just say if you words. There you go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying this beer right now. And hopefully you're enjoying something as good as this, if not this beer right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.